Coming up next on Citrus TV News, a vigil is taking place outside of Hendricks Chapel right now to honor the victims in New Zealand. Peyton Smith will be joining us live to tell us how SU students are responding.
And a new proposal to help lower loans for students is in the works. How this bill is trying to make college cheaper for you up next.
The sun was shining today, and despite my winter coat, it's actually not that cold outside. I'll let you know if we can expect good weather throughout the rest of the week. Citrus TV News starts right now.
This is Citrus TV News live at 6, your campus news leader.
A visual honoring the lives lost in last week's New Zealand shooting is happening right now on campus. Good evening, I'm Rebekah Castor.
And I'm Anna Azallion. 50 people died when a terrorist attacked 2 mosques in Christchurch, New Zealand. In response, Syracuse University students, faculty, and staff are gathering at Hendricks Chapel.
Citrus TV reporter Peyton Smith now joins us live from the quad. Peyton.
I'm live here at Hendricks Chapel, where vigil's about to get underway to commemorate the survivors and victims of last week's terrorist attacks in New Zealand. Now, this is an important event for the Syracuse University community and the Syracuse community, as community members, students, and faculty are all gathering here. And we're seeing people of all faiths and religions gathering outside the chapel for this event. Now, the religious leaders at Hendricks Chapel are saying that this is an important event to show our solidarity for those affected, and a good opportunity to show our support for Muslim students as well. But even though Christchurch is more than 9,000 miles from the city of Syracuse, religious leaders at Hendricks Chapel say that this affects everyone equally.
We hold these vigils here at the chapel in part because the spiritual life is about paying attention to the ways that we're connected with everything, all the time, everywhere. So whatever it is that's happening, whether it's pain or celebration thousands of miles away, that directly or indirectly impacts us here.
As a campus vigil, I think it is important that we definitely show support to our Muslim students who come from all over the world. And these are times when we have to stand up and say, yes, you are welcome, and there is no, absolutely, there is no space for hate here on this campus.
So Peyton, what can SU students who missed tonight's vigil do if they're still struggling with the tragic events in New Zealand?
Now, the Counseling Center is available for everyone, including those who attend and those who miss tonight's vigil. The Counseling Center you can contact the Counseling Center 24 hours a day, 7 days a week if you're still struggling with the effects of this event. I'm reporting live from Hendricks Chapel. Peyton Smith, Citrus TV News.
All right, thanks so much for that, Peyton. Now, Maxwell is still the best public affairs school in the country, but U.S. News and World Report is making them share the rating this year with Indiana University. The recognition is for the public affairs graduate programs and includes top honors for the public leadership, nonprofit management, and public finance specializations. This ranking follows a new Maxwell initiative to increase teaching and research of technology in government.
And just announced, the college Democrats are facing off against the college Republicans on Thursday in a Citrus TV debate. The debate will cover income inequality, the First Amendment, and climate change. Doors at Maxwell Auditorium open at 6:30 on Thursday, and the debate begins at 7. If you can't make it out, watch live on CitrusTV.com.
Now, Syracuse is one of the most popular cities where home buyers are looking to leave. A new report has the Salt City ranked number 19 and is the only city in upstate New York on the list. Redfin, a real estate website, has released a list of the top 20 cities in the United States where people are fleeing from. It seems as if people are done with the cold weather and the snowiest American city and want to escape to sun and blue skies. However, Syracuse does have a low cost of living and has previously been ranked as one of the best places to retire. Redfin based this ranking on more than 1 million users, but it definitely depends on who you ask.
Now, people may be leaving Syracuse because of the snow, but today was pretty nice weather-wise, Rebekah.
Yeah, I completely agree. It was nice to see some sun over the past few days. Let's toss it over to weather anchor Amber McElrath to find out if this sunshine is here to stay. Amber?
Thanks, guys. It looks like the sunshine is going to be here to stay. Right now, 37 degrees, partly cloudy, and 0% chance of precipitation. So when you're walking on campus today, feeling the sun, it was just amazing. If you look at the current temperatures across the rest of central New York, they're seeing pretty nice weather too. It's a little chilly, but it gets as warm as 43 in Elmira, and it's pretty much in the high 30s, low 40s, which is really nice considering we've seen much colder temperatures. And it's not even going to get that cold tonight. If you look at tonight's forecast, 25 degrees, clear, and a 0% chance of precipitation. So even though that temperature is a little bit chillier than what we are seeing throughout the day, it's not going to be that cold because it is going to be a clear night. All more in my full weather forecast. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Amber. Glad to hear that sunshine is going to stick around for a bit. Now, Spectrum customers in New York will be able to get millions of dollars in free services starting today. Spectrum is offering $62.5 million in credit and assets as part of a lawsuit settlement. The lawsuit was filed because, quote, the company failed to deliver customers the reliable and fast internet service it had promised. You can call your local Spectrum number to see if you qualify for any of the free services until May 31st.
And Governor Andrew Cuomo's administration is launching a plan to increase diversity in State University of New York schools. The aim of the project is hiring 1,000 professors from minority backgrounds by 2030. The program, named Promoting Recruitment, Opportunity, Diversity, Inclusion, and Growth, or PRODIG, is being implemented at all 64 SUNY campuses.
And if your name wasn't picked for the new baby elephant at the Rosamond Gifford Zoo, you now have another chance. Thousands of viewers watched live on Saturday as April the giraffe gave birth, and now her baby needs a name. You can pay $5 to submit 5 names at namethegiraffe.com, and all proceeds go to the Giraffe Conservation Initiatives. The top 20 names will be announced on Monday for the final voting, and the Animal Adventure Park will announce the name on April 1st. Now, coming up next after the break, the president gets a win in the Supreme Court, how the new ruling is impacting immigrants at the border.
And other news from Washington, President Trump met with the president of Brazil today. What the two are hoping to accomplish, all that and more right after the break.
Leaving hot coals improperly extinguished can cause a wildfire.
Hey guys, it's Smokey!
It looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown and feel technique. After the first drown, a good start. Next, another drink. And finally, a close feel.
Is it cool? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Smokey, catch! Oh, my bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires. They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
If you see news happening on campus, in Syracuse, or across the nation, call the Citrus TV Newsroom, 315-443-1177, or tweet at Citrus TV News, your campus news leader.
You're watching Citrus TV News. Now, the Trump administration is pushing Congress to update the Higher Education Act. Proposals include putting a limit on the amount of loans a student can borrow, simplifying how to pay off those loans, and making it easier to apply for aid.
The administration says setting a cap on loans could lower the cost of college because unlimited borrowing can drive up the price of tuition. The Higher Education Act has not been updated since 2008.
And more info coming out about the Michael Cohen raid in April 2018. Hundreds of pages of partially redacted documents were publicly released this morning.
These pages show investigators have been going after Cohen's emails since 2015. According to documents, prosecutors asked for Cohen's cell phone data just 1 month before the 2016 election.
They also had a list of every number Cohen called from his cell for 2 months after the raid last year. This list proves Cohen was in contact with Trump and his lawyers. Pages detailing Cohen's campaign finance violations were not made public, including info on Cohen's payments to women who say they had affairs with Trump. Cohen's expected to start his 3-year prison sentence in May.
And a noteworthy Republican is joining the board of directors of the Fox Corporation. Former Speaker of the House Paul Ryan and 3 others were appointed this morning to the parent company of Fox News.
Ryan has been friends with the family in charge of the company for years, and today is the first day Fox is separate from the changes of the 21st Century Fox deal with Disney.
Disney now owns its movie studios and entertainment channels, but Fox News and the non-Disney assets remain under the Fox company moving forward. The amount of money Ryan will be making on the new board has not been released.
Now down south, Florida prosecutors are offering to drop charges against New England's Patriots owner Robert Kraft and 24 other men. They're accused of paying for sex acts at a South Florida massage parlor.
According to a source with knowledge of the investigation, the offer would require Kraft and others to admit guilt to the charges. It's unclear if Kraft would accept any possible deal.
He currently faces 2 counts of solicitation and has denied any wrongdoing.
And the University of Southern California says that it's suspending class registration for students who may be involved in the college admissions scandal. USC stated that it is conducting a case-by-case review of these students' files.
Current students connected face potential expulsion from USC, and the university also stated that this year's applicants associated with the scheme will be denied admission.
The Supreme Court is upholding the ruling that the government can detain immigrants with past criminal records without a hearing, even if years have gone by.
Here to break down the court's decision is Citrus TV's Anthony DeBundo.
Moni Priet was born in a refugee camp and arrived in the United States in 1981. But after he was transferred to immigration detention for a simple misdemeanor, he and the ACLU argued that individuals who are not a flight risk shouldn't be detained. The ongoing legal fight eventually made its way in front of the Supreme Court, where the court ruled 5-4 along partisan lines to extend the timeline for holding immigrants from 24 hours after their release from prison to any time at all. Conservative Justice Samuel Alito says, quote, "It is not the court's job to impose a time limit for when immigrants can be detained." A civil liberties lawyer who argued against the decision says that the Supreme Court has endorsed allowing the mass incarceration of people without a hearing. He believes it's wrong. And this decision overrules a previous ruling made by the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals back in 2016. The government then appealed that decision to the nation's highest court. And while it's unclear of the true impact of this decision, there are currently about 30,000 immigrants held daily while their status is determined by the government. This ruling is a win for President Trump, who has been pushing harder for illegal immigration policies going forward. Anna and Rebecca, back to you guys.
Thanks, Anthony. Now, President Trump met with the president of Brazil today at the White House, and the two talked trade, the Venezuelan crisis, and security.
The leaders also exchanged soccer jerseys in the West Wing. President Jair Bolsonaro is nicknamed Trump of the Tropics because he is a fan of President Trump. The far-right leader was elected last fall following a campaign that mirrored Trump's 2016 campaign.
Like Trump, Bolsonaro is an immigration hardliner, dismisses bad press as fake news, and frequently tweets.
As I told President Bolsonaro, I also intend to designate Brazil as a major non-NATO ally, or even possibly, if you start thinking about it, maybe a NATO ally. Have to talk to a lot of people, but maybe a NATO ally, which will greatly advance security and cooperation between our countries.
And the president of Kazakhstan is abruptly leaving office after nearly 3 decades in power. He announced his resignation, but didn't give any reasons why he was leaving during a televised national address.
He's handing off his power to the country's Speaker of the Upper House. While he is leaving office, he isn't leaving the country's government. He will remain the leader of the country's ruling party and chairman of the Security Council. Coming up, Amber has your weather forecast.
Thanks, Rebekah. Tomorrow is the first official day of spring, but will Syracuse be seeing springtime temperatures? I'll let you know what to expect throughout the day tomorrow. Citrus TV will be right back.
Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid.
A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed. I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close.
I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us.
But I know it's all gonna be worth it. I just want my family to be safe. But these are not my words.
These are not my words.
These are not my words.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Hey, Hard, what's this?
That's my resignation letter.
You're resigning.
Why? Because you're constantly ignoring me. You're half as active as you used to be, and you get stuff like this.
You've been putting me under a lot of pressure lately. That's why I'm ready to quit.
I forgot. I'll do better. Please, don't quit on me. Okay, but remember, it's not what you say, it's what you do.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you.
Let's go for a walk.
Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
From the Citrus TV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
Welcome back to Citrus TV News. Now, with the sunny skies we saw today and the pretty warm temperatures, people are wondering what the temperature is going to be like and if the warm weather is going to continue. Well, looking at the next 12 hours, going into tonight, the temperature is going to dip a little bit, but not too significantly, getting down to about 26 degrees as we head into the early morning. But if you're waking up tomorrow, it's not going to be that cold. 37 as we're waking up, and the best part, sunny and clear skies. Perfect for our first day of spring. If you look at our Wednesday planner, you can see that it's going to be pretty significantly warm tomorrow. 52 degrees, warmest at 4 p.m. But as you're waking up, 32, getting up to 45 at noon, and then getting to 48 at 6 p.m. And like I said, sunshine throughout the day. We're going to be seeing very sunny skies. And if you're heading to Salt Lake City for the game, you probably want to know what the weather's going to be like before you head out. So it's going to be a high of 55. Unfortunately, unlike the sunshine we're seeing here in Syracuse, we're going to be seeing some PM showers and a low of 40. But it's still going to be pretty warm. Now, headed back to Syracuse, as you look at our 5-day forecast, unfortunately, that sun is not here to stay. We're going to be seeing some showers on Thursday and rain and snow on Friday, but the temperatures are pretty warm. 40, 52, 47, 38, 32, so a lot warmer than some temperatures that we have been seeing. And Saturday is National Corn Dog Day. In the spirit of March Madness, it's always the first Saturday of the tournament. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Amber. Now here's a look at what's trending. Ariana Grande wants her fans to take part in the political process. The singer has joined forces with an organization called Headcount, and they're helping concert goers get registered to vote at Grande's shows. Headcount has previously partnered with other bands, including the Dave Matthews Bands and the Dixie Chicks.
And the first official Toy Story 4 trailer is out. The Disney Pixar teases a life-changing journey for Woody, Buzz Lightyear, and the rest of the toys from the series. The film is set to debut on June 21st, 8 years after Toy Story 3 hit theaters. That third movie is in the series grossed more than $3 billion.
All right, coming up, the Syracuse women's basketball team is going dancing for the 7th straight season. I'll let you know why this year is different. Plus, we'll take you inside yesterday's watch party and show you what Coach Q and the team had to say after finding out their seeding. Don't go anywhere.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, It just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day, I found out I have something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average four-legged homie, and then wham, bam, minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high five.
And now, your Citrus TV Sports Report.
Welcome back to News Live at 6. I'm Jonah Karp. There was a bit of a leakage a few hours before the selection show yesterday, so a lot of people found out that the Syracuse women's basketball team is a 3 seed in this year's NCAA tournament. The show still aired, and when the official announcement was made last night, Citrus TV's AJ Fabry was there covering it. Take a look.
This was our goal the whole time, is to host the first 2 rounds, and for us, we were. I was very excited for our players and very excited for our program, because this is what we worked for, and to know that you accomplished that was really gratifying and pleasing to me.
I was on my way home from class, and I had seen a tweet. I was on Twitter, and I had seen a tweet, and it said that the bracket had been released, and so I immediately texted our team group chat. I was like, "Hey guys, they leaked the bracket." And then as soon as I did that, Lauren, she always comes with the news. She just came and she sent a screenshot of the bracket, and that's how I found out.
Well, that leaked bracket revealed that the first round is going to have a big New York matchup, Syracuse and Fordham. The Rams are coming off their first ever A-10 championship and are riding a school record 12-game win streak. Here's what Coach Q had to say about the contest.
They're a very good basketball team. They're a very good defensive team. They did a really good job of stopping dribble penetration, and they're a really good team. Stephanie's a good coach, and she's always has a team that's very competitive.
This is the highest ever seed for Syracuse, and they've earned the right to host the first 2 rounds of the tournament. The last time that happened, the Orange made it all the way to the championship game, losing to UConn back in 2016. That was the only year Syracuse made it even as far as the Final Four. First round begins on Saturday. 3-seed Syracuse takes on 14-seed Fordham. Tip-off from the Carrier Dome is at 1. And because the Dome is hosting the first 2 rounds of the women's basketball tournament, SU teams that are home during that stretch are making some venue adjustments. The women's lacrosse team is playing Notre Dame at Christian Brothers Academy on Saturday. That game is at noon. The men's lacrosse game against Duke is going to be played at CNS High School on Sunday. Face-off at 2. And speaking of Syracuse women's lacrosse, they just wrapped up their contest against Harvard. The Orange defeated the Crimson 15-6. 7 different players scored for the Cuse, including Morgan Alexander, who tallied her 4th hat trick of the season. SU has now won its last 3 and 7 of its last 8 contests. Syracuse moves to 9-2 on the season, their best start in 5 years. The Orange are now 10-0 all time against the Crimson. And in baseball, about a month ago, the Padres made news by signing Manny Machado to the largest free agent contract in the history of American sports. A few weeks later, the Phillies topped that by inking Bryce Harper to a deal worth $30 million more. Well, earlier today, the Angels said, "Hold my root beer." Los Angeles has agreed to a deal with Mike Trout worth $430 million over the next 12 years. But don't worry, we broke down the numbers for you. The 27-year-old is set to earn $36 million per year, which comes out to about $98,000 per day. Mike Trout now has the largest contract in the history of North American sports. And the Angels aren't the only baseball team handing out contracts today. The Yankees have signed Gio Gonzalez to a minor league deal. If the left-handed pitcher is added to the major league roster, the deal is worth $3 million. The 33-year-old can opt out if he's not in the big leagues by April 20th. And if nothing else, the Bombers are getting durability with Gonzalez. He's one of just 5 pitchers to make at least 25 starts each season in this decade. And a late game tonight for the Nets. They take on the Kings down in Sacramento. This is the 4th of a 7-game road trip for Brooklyn. The Nets have dropped their first 3 of the road stretch, but if the playoffs were to start today, Brooklyn would be the 7th seed in the East. 10 games left in the regular season. Tonight's contest starts at 10, guys.
All right, Jonah. So the SU's men basketball team, they're going to be playing Baylor on Thursday. They're out in Salt Lake City right now. So what are your predictions for the game in the first round of the tournament?
You know, it's not an easy matchup for the Orange, and even tougher in that second round if they advance to the round of 32, because then they would in no likelihood play Gonzaga, who's a 1 seed. So a tough first couple rounds for Syracuse, but I think they pull out a victory against Baylor.
And real quick, Jonah, the women's team, what players need to step up for them to go far?
Well, Tiana Mangakahia, she's really been the straw that stirs the drink for the Syracuse women's basketball team all season long. She's the point guard. She's awesome. So look for her to step up. Miranda Drummond, Gabrielle Cooper, a lot of players you can name.
Thanks, Jonah.
Sure.
We'll be right back after this.
Thomas, you've got pre-diabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
Here's your check.
Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
So Amber, what is the weather going to be like when we wake up?
So it's actually supposed to be pretty warm tomorrow. When you're first waking up, it's going to be a little chillier, but you want to dress for warmer weather because it is going to get up to 52 degrees tomorrow. So even though we're going to be seeing about 37 degrees when you're waking up, you should be prepared to shed that coat as you go throughout the day.
Great to hear that. Like the
Yes.
warmer weather, I'm so excited for it. First day of spring tomorrow, and I feel like we're actually going to have spring weather.
Though it's going to snow later in the week, right?
So we are supposed to see a little bit of snow on Friday, and it is going to rain on Thursday, but for the first day of spring, it is going to be sunny all day, and it's supposed to be sunny on Saturday. So your weekend's looking pretty nice minus that Friday snow.
So are you thinking that, you know, this being my 4th spring in Syracuse, I always feel like we have great weather for a long period of time, and then about a month later, snowstorm out of complete nowhere, and everyone is depressed again. Do you see anything like that in the future?
So as we head into the first day of spring tomorrow, I want to be optimistic and say that maybe Syracuse will finally head into a normal spring, but I don't know that that will happen because actually 1 out of every 10 Mays we get snowfall. So hopefully we don't see any snow in April and May, but we can't rule it out as a possibility because we do live in Syracuse.
I feel like all 4 of those Mays were when I was here. I feel like I've always experienced snow in May.
So tomorrow might be the first day of spring, but we might not really be seeing spring.
Yeah, we'll have to keep our fingers crossed and hope that Syracuse can finally have a normal spring.
Thanks, Amber. And that's all the time we have for you tonight on Citrus TV News. Thanks for joining us.
Follow us at Citrus TV News on Twitter and Instagram, and check out our website, citrustvnews.com. I'm Rebekah Castor.
And I'm Anna Azallion. Have a good night, Syracuse.